Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee and time here on ON Radio, Friday morning, March the 13th. For those of you who are superstitious, just be worried about today. My name's Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us. Full panel on the Coffee and program today. So let's go around the panel and introduce everybody. First off, from the town of Lincoln, Lincoln Town Administrator Phil Gould is here. Hi, Phil.
Good morning.
Glad that you can make us here today. And we got a couple of ladies from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. First off, Membership Development Manager. This is Lauren Malloy. Hi, Lauren.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here. And you brought the top person, huh?
Absolutely.
The
Big
President
dog.
and CEO of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Monica Zuluaga. Did I say that right?
Yes, you said that right.
All
Good
right.
morning. Thanks for having us.
And Dave's here, too.
I am?
Hi, Dave.
Oh, good. Well, I want to be where the action is. And everybody's here today. Well, welcome to Lauren and to Monica. This is Coffee and. Don't be nervous.
We're not. We're happy to be here today.
Oh,
so.
I'm very glad. Make sure when you talk, you get real close to those microphones so they can hear you in Lincoln.
Good.
Excellent.
No,
right.
the first segment sponsor of Coffee and is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So you get it first message.
You've never done a message on Coffee and before.
No.
Do you want an example
Sure.
of
Go for it.
what I do?
Yeah.
And then you can take over from there. You have another message at the end of the segment. Then
Okay.
I'll let you solo on that one. How's
All right.
that?
Sounds good.
You don't mind the training wheels? It's not
No, I
humiliating
love
or
it.
anything, is
No,
it? Good, good.
no.
All right. So here we go. Well, Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, everybody. I have in my inbox a message from the Chamber President. You would get one, too, if you were a member of the Chamber. We also have the list in here, and I always love to read the list because it's the exciting things that are coming up. Like, for instance, is it next Tuesday is the 24th? No, next Tuesday is St. Patrick's Day. It's 2 Tuesdays from now. Cheers to 6 years. That's the Women's Business Council. It's happening at the Guild in Pawtucket. If you had in your email box what I have in my email box, you can click on the happy little blue registration button and register yourself like that. It's 5 to 7 in the afternoon on that Tuesday afternoon. And then on March 31st, the final day of the month, the HR Roundtable. People have been looking forward to this. Employer workforce programs and resources. If you're in a small business, boy, I'll tell you, time is the currency, isn't it? Trying to divide yourself around to all the different things that you could possibly do to help your business. You want to make sure that you're up to date on all the different ways of doing things and different rules and things like that. And you don't even have to leave your office and travel. You can stay right at your desk because this is a virtual meeting. Sometimes they're very, very welcomed. And it's at noontime, too, so you can like be eating your lunch while you're taking this in over there. Maximum efficiency of time, and that's on March 31st. You could register. Let me ask Monica: Can you be a member? Do you have to be a member to be on that call, or can you be a guest?
You can be a guest.
There
so
you
most
go.
of our events are open to members and non-members. So.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then, of course, later on, we have some more other things coming up in April, which I'm sure that Lauren and Monica will tell you all about. I will remind you that if you want to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce or you want to find out about it, you'll find it's quite cost-effective. We've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce here at the radio station since before I even came in 1971. And so we hope that you'll call at 334-1000 after the show. Don't call till after the show because they don't answer the phone till 9 o'clock.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Well, as we know, the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce is located in Lincoln, which is why we brought Phil here when you guys were here. So if you have any questions of what's going on in Lincoln, here's the guy. So here you go.
Hey,
so Phil, let's just start
Doesn't
off.
he look sharp today with his glasses tucked into the front of his shirt and everything?
Now
Very,
I'm smart.
very chic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Now you,
Business, Phil, now.
Now you know what you're talking about. All right, first question we got to throw at Phil is storm related. The blizzard came through a couple of weeks ago. How did Lincoln pull through, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think we did a fantastic job, but that is certainly on the backs of the men and women that worked for the DPW, my DPW director, all our first responders, police chiefs, fire chiefs, rescue director. We did a great job. Certainly during the blizzard, during the event itself, difficult travels. Nobody was supposed to be going anywhere, except we still had to be able to respond to calls. So it was a lot of coordinating on our part to make sure that we had a plow to escort a police officer or a rescue to residents, and we did have to respond out during the storm. But the cleanup was significant. We were right up against it with our snow budget going into that storm. Looks like we probably cost us an additional $220,000 beyond our budget. So we're tallying up those numbers now, and hopefully, because the state emergency was declared, that we're going to be able to get some FEMA reimbursement. So we're working with REMA right now and trying to make sure that happens. But it was unexpected. We've been lucky the last few years. We haven't had storms like that. And, this got expensive.
Okay. Did you get any out-of-state help come up? Now, we didn't get hit quite as hard as they did down south, South County. So did you see any front-end loaders from out of state?
We did. We was the week after the Monday. It was, again, a good coordinated effort on the state part of it. So there was within a couple of days, it was all the calls out for what do you need for equipment, trying to identify. We needed a couple front loaders because a lot of times the snow was so high. We needed a front loader to get our plows into the streets in the neighborhoods. But we did get some help. A couple trucks came through and helped on the cleanup efforts, which took about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
But I think we're ahead of the curve. Certainly know some of my other neighbors, other communities had a tougher time. For us, we're lucky because I have a DBW staff of about 32 folks that they do rubbish removal during the week and take care of our parks and town areas. But then when it snows, they switch right over. And so I've got people there already.
And your private plow people, they did good too?
They showed up, and we also had to pull on a couple vendors from the area that we hired to bring in some extra equipment beyond the scope of what we had on hand.
All right. Lauren and Monica, you drove in from North Providence and from Pawtucket, and how'd you find things when you got up to the office up in Lincoln?
It was great. Lauren was stuck in her home for a little bit because of her where her street was.
Okay.
But Pawtucket did a really good job with my road, and I had access to 295 that I got to shoot right up here. When you were on 295, you wouldn't even have felt that there was that much snow. And then I told Phil earlier this week, I saw him at an annual celebration event and a Rhode Island FC kickoff luncheon that we had, and I just gave him all the accolades because there's a bridge. I don't know if the bridge has a name, but there's a bridge that I go over from Cumberland into Lincoln to Blackstone Valley Place, and the sidewalks. You can't see sidewalks anywhere. Well, last week you couldn't see sidewalks anywhere. This a couple days after there was snow blowers going up and down the bridge to create the walking path for folks, and that was the only space that I saw that in, and I really appreciated it. And so my team was back in office very soon, so I'm sure they were happy about that. They couldn't use we're snowed out of the office. So
how long were you stranded at home, Lauren?
It was Wednesday around 2 p.m. that we saw the first plow for us in North Providence. And
2 days after the storm.
Well, I should say we live on a side street and it's on a hill. Okay. So we kind of expected it was going to be a little bit of time before somebody got to us. Unfortunately, Monica was really supportive of if you have to work from home, do it. Okay. But it was wonderful driving in on Thursday, and Lincoln handled business, so it was not a difficult commute to the office.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Phil, did you have an issue with, because some communities did, of where to put the snow? And were you allowed to throw snow into the Blackstone River? Or did you have enough space that you could just dump it on the ground?
No, we have a couple large properties, Thibodeau Farm and Chase Farm. So we cleared out a space in advance, and we started through the cleanup efforts through the week. We put some of the extra snow over there, but we didn't have to put any in the water. I know some communities had to because they don't have that real estate.
Right.
They don't have that space, but we were good.
Okay. So how far over budget now are you on the snow removal?
Right now, about I think about $220,000.
All right. Well,
which is not as bad as some communities.
Right.
No.
No. This was unprecedented. How are you ever going to expect that we'll top the blizzard of 78 in 2026 on the heels of another huge storm? So you did what you could.
Yeah, no. Well, that's one of the things that I read a couple articles out there. It's a moving target. You don't know. It's such an unpredictable thing, the weather, right? So you can budget for it, but if you shrink your budget, well, we didn't spend that much last year, so we can shrink the budget this year, and then you get with a storm, then you're going to be over. So it's a balancing act, and we're fortunate if we do have money left over, like the last couple of years. We usually take some of that surplus and we'll put it towards fixing snow equipment, right? Replacing a plow, cap and chassis for an old sander. So we try and be creative and responsible with it, but it's a moving target. I hope we're done with snow for the year.
Well, accumulating snow.
I hope we're done with any snow.
Well,
Bring on the warm weather.
there's a little something coming, but we won't talk about that right now. But it's almost, Phil, it's almost like going down to Valley's Twin River and throwing the dice, right? On what we do with budget money.
Absolutely.
For snow removal. All right. But things are good in Lincoln, so, and no real accidents, any kind of crashes or anything like that?
No,
that
we
you
were
heard
very
about?
fortunate. And again, thanks to the governor for putting the travel ban, because I think that helped keep
Quite a
people
bit.
off the roads.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. That helped with everything. With the school department, they told me that they, of course, had time out of school, and they're concerned now here at the end of the winter with it affecting when we have graduations and when we have the end of the year school classes, and they're very concerned. Had the governor not put in the emergency, they would have had to make up all those days. But with the emergency declaration, they don't. And that helps things out tremendously. That's the way I heard it anyway in a private conversation. So, you made a great point. The governor really helped us out.
All right, Phil, this was before the storm. Had an incident in Lincoln over at it's Lincoln Commons now. We don't call it Lincoln Mall anymore, right? What's the official name?
I still do.
Oh, okay.
Lincoln Mall.
I also call
Okay,
it-
it's Lincoln Mall.
okay.
I also call
You're not
Valley's
alone.
Twin River and the Greyhound Park. So
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
you've been around for a long time.
I remember Greyhound Park. All right, but anyway, over at the Lincoln Mall in the parking lot, after the place closed, there was a shooting incident in the town. Anything you can fill us in on that you know of?
Yeah, so I'll kind of high level it only because it is an active investigation. But initial reports that I received from the police chief and Captain Nightingale is that there was an incident that took place somewhere inside the mall. A disagreement between a group of folks who went out in the parking lot and felt it was best to resolve issues with a firearm. Discharged a couple of rounds, fortunately, and the best part of it, that nobody got hurt. However, somebody could have got hurt, and that's why we're continuing to pursue. And it's an active investigation, and we want to identify specifically who these individuals are and bring them to justice, because it's unacceptable. That could have been a family member, a friend, anybody in the community that's out there just going about their business at the Lincoln Mall, and they've got to worry about people shooting guns. Not appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if because you were a police officer for so many years, Phil, and I'm not sure if everybody really is conscious of this, or you watch the TV shows and stuff like that. If you were still a police officer and you were in a situation, you saw someone with a gun and you had to draw your weapon, you're really not at liberty to fire your weapon that you're legally carrying to try to protect people, because there are so many people around. It could bounce off the macadam and come up and hit somebody. It could, because once they leave your gun, bullets are uncontrollable.
Yeah, so actually, I used to be a firearms instructor for the Municipal Police Academy for 15 years, and we talked a lot about when you can engage, but when your concerns always was your target, backstop, and beyond, and here's your threat that you're trying to neutralize or stop, but if you miss or passes through the individual,
Anything could happen,
where it goes. So a lot of decisions have to be made in that split second, which I don't think a lot of people realize when they sit there and they'll say, well, they'll criticize a police officer for using their weapon. We're making split-second decisions. I mean, you are the bad person that you might be encountering. They have a plan in place. They're already equipped. They don't worry about somebody else getting hurt. They don't care. But for a police officer, they have to take a lot of things into consideration, and they're responding to a very limited piece of information and acting in the moment.
Well, I brought that up just to illustrate just how dumb a decision it is to use a firearm in a public place like that by anybody. And the people that you're looking for here to bring them to justice, those people are not considering everything that a police officer has to consider. So the danger is just multiplied.
All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee AM program, so it is time for a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So
All right, lady, it's time for the solo flight. Who's going to do the who's going to do the message today? Or do you want to do tag team?
Lauren, you can take.
you
You want
got-
to do tag team?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's an executive decision. Right? Okay.
Voluntold.
Yeah, I don't think she has.
She's
a choice.
delegating authority.
There's no stopwatch on you, but you can just go for it for a minute or so and tell us all about what you want people to know about the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. So, at the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, we are known for our events and our networking and being a convener of business leaders, and we're really proud of that. However, some of the work that we do behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the scenes lately, it's our advocacy and our business support and our workforce development. And so it is a mission of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber to make sure that we're reaching all of our municipalities, and small businesses make up our membership. And so we welcome our small businesses, our entrepreneurs, our startups to come to the chamber, ask their questions, talk to Lauren, and Lauren will meet with you via Zoom in person. And Lauren came on in December of last year to take over my role when I moved up to the CEO role, and she has been a fantastic ambassador of Northern Rhode Island, and we both live and work in Northern Rhode Island. And so truly, if finding community, and if you're a small business leader in this state, whether you're a member or not, we welcome you at the Northern Rhode Island Chamber.
Absolutely. And we're not just hearing from businesses in the chamber, also going to meet you out in the community. Monica and I have been touring around the last couple of months. We've made stops already in Woonsocket as well as Lincoln with Mr. Phil Gold here. We have another stop coming up in Cumberland with more to be scheduled. So we are out and about, and we'd love to meet with you if you are a small business owner.
And how can they contact you?
So you can call 401-334-1000. You can also visit nrichamber.com or find us on social media at NRI Chamber on Instagram or Northern Rhode Island Chamber everywhere else.
Very good.
Hey!
Thank you.
First message, very successful.
Okay.
Well done, ladies. Well done.
Thank you.
Break time here on Coffee and more
Joel,
coming up. Yes,
Melissa's here. We're going to send her in.
very good. We'll introduce Melissa when she comes in.
Excellent.
ON Radio.
When it comes to your current banking relationship, are you checking your statements and finding monthly fees, checking to make sure you're above your minimum balance? At Dean Bank, our free checking account eliminates the need to check and check again. No minimum balance requirements and no monthly fees. Just a great checking product delivered with the same personal service customers have been enjoying since 1889 at Dean. Come check out the level of service not commonly found today at other banks. Check out Dean Bank. Visit us at 441 Pulaski Boulevard at Crooks Corner in Bellingham or at 8 Main Street in Blackstone. You can also apply online anytime at deanbank.com. Dean Bank is a member FDIC, member DIF, and is an equal housing lender.
This is the place to enjoy all this snow.
The rest of the season pass is available now. We are going to have so much fun here right till April 12th.
Don't miss out on the best part of winter.
For the latest snow conditions,
Rest of season passes.
Go to Wachusett.com.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All that coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Town Administrator from Lincoln, Phil Gould. We'll also be joined by a couple of women from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Lauren Malloy and Monica Zuluaga. All right. Twice I got it right. And Melissa Murray's joining us at the coffee and table
Good morning.
Today as well. Hi there, Melissa. All right, back to talk about the things going on in Lincoln. And, geez, to me, it came out of left field. Maybe you knew about it months ago, Phil, but the closing of Cinema World in the bowling alley in the cinema over there, they just said, okay, this is our last weekend, thanks, bye. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, no, well, I think there was some of the writing was on the wall, and again, being privileged to some of the information stuff that comes across my desk and through the town hall. I think there's some financial issues. Again, this was a satellite facility. Their headquarters are out of Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
And I mean, they've been there for 20 years, and they were great. Right. We employed a lot of the youth in our community, and it was a great venue. Both places are a great venue. It's unfortunate. I just think that it was a large company. I'm sure that we talk about the COVID years were probably very challenging on them. Yep. Some of the streaming stuff, I'm sure, has knocked down some of the business. But I know there's some interest in some other folks looking to come in and rejuvenate that, take it over, and redo it,
and run it as a movie theater.
and runs a movie theater. So
Okay.
I'm hoping
Instead
that
of cutting it up and
yeah,
things.
I'm hoping that it really that comes to fruition because that is a nice draw for the community, and if they might go to the movies, but afterwards they might go grab dinner somewhere else, or maybe they go shopping in somewhere in the mall. But the mall has rejuvenated over the years. We just actually mentioned Lincoln Tech. We've got a great facility over there that workforce development, education, so many programs are developing. So that space, I remember back when there was a roast house and Caldor was on the end of the building with that crazy rainbow, which I actually worked at right out of high school.
I think my husband got lost in Caldor when he was a child, and he
Yeah.
tells that story all the time to scare
that
my
possible?
children.
Poor Mario.
I don't know.
When you're
but
a child,
it
anything
rings a
is
bell.
possible.
Something about that. He repeats over and over. But yes.
The building's definitely changed, and I'm hoping that we get back to that movie theater and the bowling alley, and continue to have other anchor stores over there and other places inside, like Lincoln Tech, because that's actually very impressive. I've been in there for a couple of the ribbon cuttings.
You know,
Very
I
cool.
always thought that Lincoln Tech was because they were in Lincoln,
No.
and that's me not being from Lincoln and just assuming that until I came to the chamber and realizing that this is a national workforce development organization that is widely known and recognized, and they're doing phenomenal work. You and I, Phil, went through the welding tour, and so great work that they're doing. And Lauren's husband actually works for Lincoln Tech, so
Yes, he does.
connecting the Rhode Island 6 degrees or 1 degree of separation here.
Sometimes half a degree here in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
My husband's one of their career services advisors, and they recently had a large career fair that had a lot of local employers represented. So many students who are looking for jobs and out there ready to enter the workforce with new skills. So super exciting to see, and they're doing a lot to support the community. So great to see them growing.
Right now on social media, they're saying HVAC and electricians are the next millionaires, right? So
I can see that.
absolutely, and I can see that. Try finding an electrician when you need one right away.
Yeah, we'll
but
see in 6 months.
I think that's just it will continue to trend upward with skills trades for sure.
Okay. Well, Phil, we have to have the movie theater at the Lincoln Mall because that's tradition. Because that's where I saw Jaws.
No
my
kidding.
God.
Back in 1975, in a sold out theater, by the way. 'Cause, it was,
Wait, how old were you when you?
Oh, 75, 11.
Right. So
God.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm at 11 years old. I don't know if I would have been ready to see Jaws.
Well, I sat next. It was my brother and I, and my mother and my sister were a couple of rows down because the four of us couldn't sit together. We got there a little late, and I've told the story before. That's when I realized that in a darkened movie theater, when it gets really tense on the movie theater on the screen, you can close your eyes and no one knows your eyes are closed. They're all watching the movie. So you would close your eyes, you wait for the screams, and then open your eyes again.
Yeah.
It's also the first movie theater I was caught at trying to sneak into an R-rated movie. And the guy got caught.
Too
Can you
many
believe
memories
that?
there.
Right.
We need another
Yep.
theater
And I
for
had
sure.
my friends and I, we had to go watch the Lone Ranger movie, which was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, enough about that. All right. Now we were talking off the air. Active shooter training.
Yes, actually. So Monica and her team had reached out. It's something that a lot of businesses that were talking about. They would like to host an active shooter training for some of the businesses. We focus. We do a lot of our training.
Is this response to what happened in Pawtucket and Brown University?
Yeah, I think just from the chamber perspective, I used to work for Rhode Island Hospitality Association, and we had active shooter trainings 15 years ago. And so regardless of where the shootings were, they're happening throughout the United States. And I think when the Pawtucket incident happened, a lot of folks ran into adjacent businesses. And what do you do as a business owner, operator? Does your frontline team, did the front desk person at Walgreens, at the cashier, know what to do? And, really that's why we're having this active threat training with the Lincoln PD at Kirkbrae Country Club on May 6th. It's $10 per person. It's open to the public, but individuals and folks in businesses, I really encourage sending your employees, because you may think you know what to do, but when you're not in the office that day, do your employees know what to do? Do you shut down? Do you shut the lights off? What are the things that you are supposed to do if there's a nearby adjacent situation? And the same thing with Lincoln Commons, right? All surrounding businesses in that moment, what were they supposed to do? And so I think it's a training that we should be doing annually. I think that employers should send their employees if possible. And it's something that we have relationships with 13 different municipalities, but Lauren and I had just met with Phil, and he expressed what the Lincoln PD does for the community. And so being in Lincoln, we chose to work with the Lincoln PD.
Are you going to do this training, Phil?
I will probably show up. I actually used to do the training. That was my wheelhouse.
So you know what to do.
I give a lot of those classes, but I think it's a great opportunity. And again, it's the stakeholders and your community partners, and I think it's I think it's going to be well attended. I think it's going to be a lot of good information and get people a chance to think situational awareness and think about, it's unfortunate we have to think about these things and we have to prepare for these things, but failure to prepare is preparing to fail, right? It's not the saying, so this will be great. I'm looking forward to it.
So it must be difficult in the way you train or talk about when you're talking with, as opposed to people that want to be police officers, as opposed to shop owners.
Yeah.
Who have never maybe even held a gun.
A little bit of a different mindset, but again, keep yourself safe and the people around you as safe as you can. So.
What we loved was reaching out to Lincoln Police Department and how quickly they responded to say, yes, absolutely, once Phil looped them in to support this training. And not only that, but to make sure it was really tailored to our audience of small business owners and what were our objectives, how many people did we think might show up to this. So we really appreciated that support and that just immediate desire to take action.
All right. And other things going on in Lincoln, always fun. It's budget season, as Phil likes to call it. Melissa's very, she's wrapped up in that as well on the state level. But when do you have to have the budget done?
Well, so our FTM is going to be on May 11th, but right now...
Financial town meeting, right?
Financial town meeting. So on back on February 15th, I gave my budget over to the budget board, which is 11-person elected panel, and from that point until 3 weeks before the FDM, a lot of back and forth, having discussions, explaining my budget, explaining what we're doing, why we're doing, and some of the expenditures. At the same time, some of the challenges, particularly because we're doing it now, and our financial year, fiscal year is July 1 to June 30th. The challenges for us is there's the what you don't know, what hasn't been established yet, state funding. For instance, we work off the governor's proposed budget, but that changes. By the time General Assembly and Senate get through with some of their business, it changes. Same thing with healthcare costs, which I just got this curveball thrown at me yesterday. Myself and the school department, we had anticipated about a 5% increase to our health coverage.
And how much is it?
It's going to be double digits.
Oh, great.
Last number I heard was 11.6% on the school, which is real money. It's going to be about $450,000. So there's $450,000 that we were hoping we were going to have to spend. Now it's going to have to come from somewhere, right? Because I don't have a money tree out back, so sometimes some tough decisions have to be made. But I have a great relationship with Superintendent Kevin McNamara and the school committee, and certainly with my town and my department head. So we're going to have to figure things out. But it's a very busy, stressful few weeks.
Yeah. Do you take it from the snow removal budget for next year, thinking we can't have the same kind of winter next year?
And that's a great point. So when we close out this budget, that's where we're going to feel that effect. So when you close out, then you hit that fifth quarter where you start moving things around. Where did you have money left over to make it balance at the end? But anticipating going forward, and again, some of the challenges with the schools is you have that maintenance of effort. So, you can't cut funding. We're very lucky because our student enrollment is continuing. It's pretty online right now what we anticipated, but it's growing where other communities are shutting down schools. That's tough because that cuts right into the state aid that they're getting. So
sure does. Because Woonsocket is losing enrollment, to your point, right? And so for healthcare, is Lincoln, are you a pay-as-you-go?
The school side, yes.
Yeah, right. And so like the healthcare costs, you can have maybe like 2 employees maybe one or two have like a big illness or get cancer, and that can just, unanticipated and skyrocket the costs. So it's very challenging.
Okay. We're running out of time with our time with Phil this morning. The schools come through the storm okay? Any no issues with the buildings?
Again, I think this is in large part because of the relationship we have with our school district and the director of facilities, Tony Fiola, and the superintendent. So it was constant communication, and knowing that the schools were going to be out for a couple of days, it let us focus on some of our stuff. And then when we knew they were going to open up and come back in on Thursday, we were able to get over and help them out a little bit too. So it's a good relationship.
All right. Phil Gould, Town Administrator from Lincoln, thanks for coming in. Always a good time.
Thank you.
And we'll see you sometime again next month as well, okay?
Absolutely.
Very good. We're going to take a look at the forecast being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Increasing clouds today with a high near 44 degrees and a breeze from the west. Tonight, a 40% chance of some snow before midnight, switching over to rain and snow after midnight, not amounting to anything. Little or no snow accumulation is expected. Cloudy early, becoming gradually clear skies overnight with an overnight low of 33 degrees. Saturday's weather, mostly sunny skies and 48 with a stiff breeze from the west up to 40 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, high of 45, calm wind. Sunday night, 40% chance of rain, especially after 2 a.m., mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 34. Monday, 100% chance of rain, high of 61, south wind up to 35 miles per hour. Monday night, 90% chance of more rain, overnight low of 43. Windy with gusts of wind up to 50 miles per hour. Tuesday, it starts off with a little leftover rain from the storm and becoming a partly sunny day on St. Paddy's Day with a high of 49 degrees but with a stiff breeze from the west. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 39, and St. Joseph's Day Thursday, partly sunny skies, high near 44 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 31 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, call us at 765-8880. Integrity, Trust, Service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
In a world where good food, friendly faces, and unforgettable memories collide, there's one place that stands out from the rest. Gators Pub is proudly celebrating 35 years of excellence in North Smithfield. Join us at Gators Pub, where every visit feels like coming home. Our secret to success? It's simple. Our super friendly staff and mouth-watering dishes prepared fresh daily by our talented chefs. Sink your teeth into our delectable lunch specials from Monday through Thursday and savor complimentary soup to warm your soul. Enjoy the game day excitement with multiple TVs showing the Boston Red Sox while indulging in classic appetizers like our famous potato skins and pita chips. Looking for a lively atmosphere to watch volleyball games? Look no further. Pair it with our juicy burgers or the latest cocktail creations to elevate your experience. Gators Pub, your ultimate destination for good times and great food. Come and celebrate with us at Gators Pub on Route 102, just a mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Make every moment memorable at Gators Pub, where good friends and great flavors meet. Remember, there are no strangers at Gators Pub, just good friends you haven't met yet.
This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. Who's got the best burger, the friendliest service, the best spot in town? You decide. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, a community competition where you can nominate and vote for your local favorites to help determine the best businesses, people, and places in our area. Visit valleybreeze.com to learn more and cast your votes. Plus, you could win cash prizes just for participating. That's valleybreeze.com.
All right, Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Around the coffee and table, say hi. Melissa Murray's with us, and we have a couple of ladies from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Lauren Malloy and Monica Zuluaga, and Rich Lane, who joins us on a Friday, is here as well to talk about things going on at Post 85, American Legion Post 85 on River Street. Hi, Rich.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
What's going on over there at the Post?
Well,
that we need to know about.
I gotta brag first of all about what we did this past week over the American Legion Post 85. You've heard Melissa and I a lot of times talk about, like, we're waiting for blankets. Well, guess what?
I saw some pictures.
Yeah, huh? So we had 250 of them.
250 blankets.
You know how many are left at the Post right now?
I hope none.
8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
Yeah, but it was fantastic. When did we let them out? Like Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? We distributed them Wednesday. We distributed them, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, it's been a long week.
Yeah,
I thought it was Monday, Tuesday. Sometime this week we did it. We all got together and
yeah, but we had 5 different entities come and pick them up, and yeah, we did have some pictures and stuff, and the pictures were real cool. And it's funny because I was just standing back a little bit as the blankets were being distributed, and of course they're going to be let out. We gave out, I think it was 75 of them to Gateway to Independence down in Providence, which was really cool. It's a veterans home that they have in Providence, so we gave 75 to them, and then we had Jean Misha from New Beginning. She picked some up. Trish Parento, who does the bulification for a woman's breast cancer, but what she does is that once a month she knows sites where the homeless encampments are. So she took a bunch of blankets. Pat Ford, and you know, the fun part of that is I stood there. Melissa's laughing, and it's pretty cool, really, when you think about it. And it gives you to sit back and just ponder a thought for a minute. I'm standing back and I'm watching people load the blankets, and I'm looking at Melissa, and I'm looking at Pat Ford, and I'm kind of looking at me, and you've got 3 people whose political persuasions couldn't be more different. And we took the picture of the 3 of us.
We did. That was cute. And I didn't know that Trish was gonna post that picture.
Yeah.
She takes great photos, by the way, Trish Parento. Yeah. So almost all of the photos that were taken from that day were by her. So I did post some of her pictures on my page and gave her photo credit. But she posted a picture of Rich and Pat and I, and she it was a Republican, a Democrat, and a libertarian, all like together doing this outreach. But the great thing about it was that Rich did all the work. He's not taking any of the credit. He did all the work. And he reached out to these organizations that do like mutual aid and direct outreach to the people that need it the most. So these are like the boots on the ground people who, you know, like he said, like Trish, like they know where the encampments are. They've developed that relationship and that trust with folks, and they know where the need is greatest. And so they were the ones that we divvied up the blankets and took them. So they're going to go directly to the people that need them the most.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is with Pat, I found out just from talking with other people, what happens sometimes is that when you approach these encampments, if the homeless folks there don't know who you are, what you're all about, they scatter. Pat goes down with his van, and he's got like socks and like hygiene supplies and water and
number one
the blankets.
Thing is for him is water too.
Yeah, and when his van comes, they don't scatter. They know him, you know. So, and it was just a good feeling to watch all these people load the blankets up and just know they're going to the right place.
Yep.
I think that's the most
Yep.
important
Yep.
thing about it. But anyhow, it all went great, and hopefully it's going to help keep some people warm. But another thing going on down at the Post, we got our Saturday breakfast. So if you want to come down and have yourself a good meal and for inexpensive, you can come down to the Post on Saturday mornings. We start at 8:00. We go to 11. I don't claim to be a great chef, but but
You can't screw up eggs.
You can't.
But they come back.
You can screw up eggs. Take my word for it. But myself and the commander do a pretty good job down there. We got breakfast sandwiches and some omelets, and the commander's always trying to say, let's do some other things, and I keep telling them we're doing enough, but come on down and have a good breakfast anyhow on Saturdays. On Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 15th, we're going to do an open mic down the Post starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll be down there with my guitar doing a couple of country songs, and then if anybody else wants to participate, you can come down. I'll have a little PA system, microphones all set up, and you don't have to be this fantastic talent that's going to go to Nashville or Las Vegas or anything like that. If you're saying to yourself out there, gee, I'd like to try it. I wonder if I'm good enough to play in front of people. And if I do my thing in front of people, they're going to laugh and boo me. Well, the perfect place to try it is down at American Legion Post 85, because most of the people sitting down there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon have already got a few in them, and they're going to applaud. Okay? So, no, believe me, we're very welcoming. And, if you got a little comedy act, or we've got guys that come down there, veterans that come down there, and they do poetry as part of their healing process for PTSD. And I was shocked at the last open mic, because what happened is that you got to remember, it's kind of like a bar setting, okay? So you expect people to be talking back and forth. When the poetry people started, dead silence. Wow. People actually listened, When I get up with the guitar, they talk real loud so they can't hear me.
Start playing the music.
Yeah, but that's okay, But like I say, if you want to do open mic, the 15th, this Sunday, we start at 4 o'clock. St. Patrick's Day, the 17th, we are going to have a St. Patrick's Day corned beef and cabbage, traditional, from 11 to 2. We're going to have sandwiches with chips, corned beef sandwiches. That's going to be $8. And then from 2:30 to 6, we're going to have the full dinner for $15. The full dinner is, when it runs out, it runs out. So I would say that if you want to get a nice corned beef and cabbage dinner, to get down there right around between 2:30 and 4. And you'll probably be able to get something to eat. And we got Running Wild, a band that's going to be down there from 4 to 6. So you get some music, you get a full corned beef and cabbage dinner from 2:30 to 6 for $15. So how are you going to beat that, right? Another thing we got coming up is we got the National Commander for the American Legion. He's going to be visiting the Post on Sunday the 22nd from 2 to 5 p.m. So if you want to come down, if you say, gee, I'd like to check out the Post, find out what membership is all about, good day to come down there, and you can meet the National Commanders. Like I said,
Where's he from?
I don't know where he's from.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where he probably don't know where he's from, because he's traveling all over the United States.
Okay.
And they go all over the place. So I'll find that information out for you.
Just
though.
wondering.
No, but a lot of them, will come from all over the country. Every year they're spread out all over the place. So it all depends. These national commanders depends on how long they've been on the national scene, whether it's junior vice or senior vice commanders, and then they just rotate into the positions usually. So, but it's a real good visit. They're very interested in coming up to the American Legion Post, because we have the Eternal Flame set up there. So they always like to go up there and view that. And then the last thing I want to mention is United Veterans Council banquet on March the 29th. The United Veterans Council, we honored the Veteran of the Year and the Patriot of the Year, and this year's Veteran of the Year is Farrell McMillan out of Post 6342, the VFW post. And the Patriot of the Year is Mr. Rodney Lambert. And if Rodney's listening out there, he's going to say, I am going to kill him when I see him. Because I'll tell you what, when Veteran of the Year, you can understand they do great things for veterans. But when we pick a Patriot of the Year, and not that the veterans are important, I'm a veteran myself, so, veterans are important. But when you pick a Patriot of the Year, that's a pretty good honor, because these are people that don't have to do anything for veterans, and they get recognized for what they do for veterans. And if I tried to sit here and tell you everything that Rodney's done as a Patriot, it would take a while. But anyhow, that's on March 29th. So if you're interested in attending that banquet, you can call the American Legion Post at 401-766-7585. Ask for me. I'll get back to you, and I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on with the banquet. Isn't that something, the way I do this? Right at 8:45, huh, Joe? How do I do
you've done this before.
I know this, and I said to myself, I got to be coming up on time so Joe can do his commercial break.
Well, we appreciate that, Rich.
Hey, Joe, that's all right, man. I'm getting to be an old pro at this.
All right, more Coffee and coming your way. This segment has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Hey there, Blackstone Valley. Who's got the best burger, the friendliest service, the best spot in town? You decide. The Valley Breeze is bringing back the Voices of the Valley Awards, a community competition where you can nominate and vote for your local favorites to help determine the best businesses, people, and places in our area. Visit valleybreeze.com to learn more and cast your votes. Plus, you could win cash prizes just for participating. That's valleybreeze.com.
ON Radio.
Hey, Woonsocket, guess who's back in business? Trudeau's Auto Repair on Cass Avenue is officially reopened under brand new local ownership. Fabricio and Kristen invite you back to Trudeau's Auto Repair. With more than 20 plus years of automotive experience, the new owners have been a longtime customer of Trudeau's, and they're committed to continuing the honesty, trust, and care Trudeau's has always been known for. Tune-ups, diagnostics, oil changes, and general automotive repair, plus Rhode Island State inspections can all be done at Trudeau's Auto Repair, 654 Cass Avenue, Woonsocket. Follow them on Facebook.
Dollar Saver Guy with this week's ON Radio Dollar Saver Half Price Deal of the Week. We've got a $50 Little General Convenience Store gift card. You can grab it for half price, just $25. Gift card good in Woonsocket, North Smithfield, and Harrisville. These gift cards are on sale this morning, 10 a.m. online at onradiodollarsaver.com. That's the letters ON, radio, $saver.com.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio. ON Radio. In Woonsocket.
Coffee and on ON Radio, we thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray, Monica Zuluaga from the Chamber of Commerce, Lauren Malloy from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Phil Gould's gone. But Rich Elaine is here. Hi, Rich.
Hey!
All right. And just so the ladies know, usually at this time during the Coffee and program, we look at some of the sillier things going on in the news around the country. Sometimes they deal with what's going on here in Rhode Island, just to bring them up. But there is one story out of Rhode Island, because we always like to make people aware when there's a new scam going on in the state, and this one's coming out of Cranston, but this one's different. Not that the scam's different, but the way they're doing it. Someone is pretending to be a priest.
Oh my gosh!
Out of Holy Apostles Parish, sending emails to the congregation saying he needs. And this is how you can tell it's a scam. Instead of asking for money, he's asking for gift cards to Sephora. And why a priest would need gift cards to Sephora is beyond me. Or Target. Gift cards. So the father William Ledoux, had to come out and say, these are not coming from me. I would never ask for gift cards.
To Sephora.
Especially to Sephora.
Right.
If you don't know, that's all makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. So, but the email looks good. It looks professional. He signs it with God bless you, which most priests do anyway. So people might think, oh, it must be real. So we got to go out and buy a $50 gift card. So he's like, please don't do this, because it's not going to him at all. So That's just one of the latest scams.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah, it's crazy.
that has popped up here in Rhode Island.
Well, hopefully when that person goes to meet their maker, they will.
I know.
Right? I mean, who does that? Oh my
That
gosh.
sounds like there's something written for that person. They don't know yet.
I got spoofed when I first joined the chamber a few months ago. I got an email from Monica, in quotes. It was
Okay.
not Monica. And I reached out to her separately and said, hey, I totally missed this. It went into my spam filter, but it was from you. And she's like, that's because it was not from me, Lauren.
What are you talking
That was
about?
a scam.
Oh my goodness.
Did you
And
want-
they used her name and everything.
It did.
Wow.
We get it often
Wow.
in the chamber when they say, please change my payroll information, and it will come from the employee. But if you look at the
Okay.
email address, it's a different email address. So.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even you guys are not immune either, huh?
Not immune,
Wow.
no.
Now, was Monica asking you to go somewhere or to attend something, or was she looking for money?
She was asking for Sephora gift cards.
No.
I don't remember what it was, but I just
Okay.
remember that very specifically.
That was coming from her. Wow. Okay. Well, glad you caught it.
I did-
Say,
I am
this is
too.
not, this is not me. All right. Down in Florida, and these stories that make you kind of shudder. A woman is accused of illegally practicing dentistry out of her house,
Oh no.
out of her Miami home. Yeah, and no kid here. I mean, this 54-year-old woman, Kareem Cordova, charged with practicing dentistry without a license and possession of a controlled substance. And sometimes you hear these stories, they're from other countries, and they were practicing dentistry there, and they think they know what they're doing, or they, according to that country's standards. But it doesn't say anything like that here. But just authorities launched an investigation because they received a tip. Someone complained.
I'm sure.
My mouth still hurts.
Yeah.
So undercover detectives called her up, made an appointment, need a tooth distraction. They said, okay, come on down on the 4th or whatever it is. And so they show up on the 4th and slap the cuffs on.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
So they didn't do anything to the undercover person. But no, you can't do this at all.
Well, when the undercover people went in there and she was tying the string around the doorknob, and that probably was the first hint right there.
Can't do that.
Crazy.
Makes you wonder what the controlled substance was. Did she have Novocaine or something a little more powerful to see
Not
feel
enough
pain?
to get a complaint, clearly.
Someone complained about it, so what you got to worry about. So, but you got to make money. And this guy out of Nashville, a wanted man out of Nashville, was caught by police. He was still making a DoorDash delivery in a stolen car.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they need their food.
He was trying to do the right thing.
He was
in
try-
one way.
I decided to, I'll make this delivery for somebody. I just need a car. And anyway, police in Tennessee used license plate recognition, kind of like what we get around here, the flock cameras, to spot Justin Weiss, who was driving the vehicle last Saturday. He had an outstanding theft warrant in Nashville. He allegedly stole a $1,200 iPhone from an area store. Police caught up to him, took him into custody without incident.
So he stole the iPhone to get into the DoorDash to get his orders.
Yes.
And he's working. But
And then
he
he's
stole the
stealing
car,
car
didn't
to make
change
the
the
deliveries.
plates, but he was trying, maybe he justified it. Maybe he thought, I'm working. I'm a working man.
Now, Rich, he had a career as a correctional officer. How smart are the people inside the walls, Rich?
Wait a minute. He said he had a career as a correctional officer, or he had a career.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
you.
I did.
you did.
Oh.
So I'm getting your
Yeah.
opinion on how intelligent the people are inside the walls.
Smarter than what you might think. I'm telling you right now.
But stealing an
you know?
iPhone, then stealing a car. to
Well,
make a
I'm not
DoorDash
saying they're
delivery?
all smart. All right.
But
I'm not saying
and
they're
also
all
everybody's
smart,
innocent, right?
they're all innocent.
Nobody
yeah.
did it.
I'll tell you what, though. I had one particular gentleman that was in my housing unit years ago. That that he was doing 25 years. Somebody stole his drug money. He was an individual out of the Boston area, and somebody stole his drug money, and he put a bullet in him.
Wow.
And he didn't mind saying it. He said, the guy stole from me. This is what I did. And the cops came, and I said, yep, it was me. And it's that simple.
How much money was stolen from?
I never got that figure.
I wonder
and
how much.
That's about all I want to tell about that story.
Okay.
Because if I let any more out, somebody may come looking for me.
All right. Moving on. We're still moving into real Jetsons territory. Watch the Jetsons as a kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Jetson. Yeah.
Yes. Well, the feds announced this week that they're backing, quote, an air taxi program that's going to connect big cities in Texas. All right.
Okay.
Texas DOT's Sergio Roman says right now they're building a highway in the sky.
Oh, God.
Now, hold on, Rich.
I'm with you on it, Rich.
First, he says the aircrafts will only carry packages. And we'll try to work out the bugs so they don't crash into each other
boy.
up there in the sky.
But
This
don't
is-
drones do that already?
Yes,
This
they
is
do.
going to take a
There's no
this is gonna
traffic
take a
control
while.
for the drones,
No, there are
right?
not.
Right.
Because
Not
there's
yet.
not enough yet. But
That's
they're
right.
assuming that there'll be more.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And so we'll try the packages first, and then the next phase, if whoever's brave enough, will include people. All right?
Ain't happening.
If you got to go from Austin to Dallas.
Ain't happening.
I just picture
I'm
the
out.
package that you want just being dropped at your house and just like demolished, right? Even if it's
Possibly.
not fragile, like, do you want something that's been like?
Do they
through
just drop it,
everything?
or does the drone come down and place it gently
Gently.
on your lawn? I don't know.
There are
My dog
people
would-
driving now that still don't know that you can do a right on red, for crying out loud. Now we're going to put people in the sky? I don't think so.
Well, I think
Gotta be
they got
brave.
something
What could
going
go wrong?
because they're trying to control the air traffic, right?
Yes,
So they're
yeah.
a little ahead of their time. I think we should look at that.
Worked okay in the Jetsons. Everything was fine.
No, that's fine, yeah.
I'm still waiting to get into a machine and get fully clothed like they did in the Jetsons.
Oh, that was
I'm
that
not
was a
there
great
yet.
idea.
Yeah.
I wish. We should put that one first.
I just want a
Right.
Rosie to clean my house.
Yes, I need a Rosie.
All right, this comes up every year right around this time because we just changed the clocks. And there's a lawmaker down in Tennessee says he's sick of it, and he wants to end the twice-a-year clock change. Get rid of it.
I'm with that.
State Rep Chris
Same.
Todd has introduced a bill that would eliminate daylight savings time and just keep the state on standard time year-round. The proposal would take effect in 2027 if approved by lawmakers and signed by the governor. He just wants his state. He doesn't want the rest of us to join. He just wants Tennessee to be done
fine.
with it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Melissa.
Arizona doesn't do time change.
That's
It's
right.
the only state.
I thought it was Hawaii too.
I think
Oh,
it's
maybe
odd when
Hawaii,
it's
yeah.
one state, and like imagine if Rhode Island did that, and then you go
And you
to
work in Mass.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. How do you do that?
That would be crazy.
That would be really
Yeah.
crazy because nothing
Well-
really changes for you if you work in another state.
It was like 3 or 4 years ago that Massachusetts didn't want to stop daylight savings time.
Yeah.
They wanted to leave the Eastern time zone and join the maritime time zone
Interesting.
and be part of Canada. So they would be it's 5 minutes to 9 right now. In Massachusetts it'd be 5 minutes to 10. Maine was thinking of doing this too. But can you imagine the
Why?
confusion?
Yeah,
I
think
don't
we're
know
too close
why.
as states. I think if it's something that Texas chose to do,
'Cause
or
it's so big?
California,
Yeah,
but I
that's
think that there's
different.
so many commuters that
Yeah.
go back and forth between Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. That would be crazy.
How crazy it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have to be all of New England or,
Yes.
Or none.
Or
That-
none.
that-
I would
that's
be
right.
so confused every day.
That's right. Which is
We're
why this
already
really
confused.
this really
I know.
this really never went anywhere a few years ago. So I haven't heard it been kicked around lately. But they brought it up. Let's join the maritime
Wild.
time zone. I think because sunshine and things like that.
I mean, I
was
do
the
love
point of it,
sunshine, but-
all right.
It doesn't affect me at all.
no?
Like people say it affects them for sleep and stuff.
Some people
Could
say
kill
that.
us.
No,
Could kill us.
That's because you're a Marine veteran.
Well,
You
no, I
can do
wake.
anything.
Well, but I wake up in the morning. I get my coffee, and if I wake up at 4 a.m., I wake up at 4. If I wake up at 5, I wake up
bother
at
you?
5. It doesn't-
All right, very good. So I guess people are still taking cruises. Maybe it's cruise season, but Florida's Port Tampa Bay is tracking to set a spring break record with 51 cruise ship calls this month. Is that a lot? I guess so. 51.
I guess so. I don't
51
know.
Cruises
ships.
just mortify me.
Yeah.
I think
watched-
of neurovirus. in
I
a
watched
cruise.
the Poop Cruise documentary on Netflix. I don't know if I
You'll
can say that on
go
here.
never go on a boat again?
I don't know if I will.
But
Don't
anybody
know.
that I know that cruises, they love it. They're
Yeah.
diehard
Yes.
cruisers. Like I haven't heard a physical, in person bad review. It's just everything you read online or see on
Okay.
social media.
Well, you know, with me, like the cruises, I've been on a cruise once,
Me too.
and I'll never go again. You want to know why?
Why?
Don't get me wrong. Had a good time.
crowded.
Okay, you get on the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, they stop at the first island. Okay, you can shop. You can go on a zip line. You can scuba dive. You can go on a catamaran.
Yeah.
Then you get back on the boat, and they go to the next island. And guess what you can do?
Same
Same
thing.
thing.
You can shop. You can go on a catamaran. So it's like, Why?
thing
It's
in
rinse and
different-
repeat a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's just me.
Okay. Port officials say strong demand for Caribbean sailings is driving the surge, making March the busiest cruise month in the port's history. 5 major cruise lines now operate from Tampa, and a new luxury ship, Oceania Insignia, is also making calls this month. Port Tampa Bay expects cruise activity to continue growing, with nearly $1.8 million passengers projected this year. Wow. Annual cruise activity generates more than $648 million in economic activity for the West Central Florida region.
Wow.
Money.
You know, I'd be interested in that story, though, if it's got anything to do with the spring break. Because you see how many of the beaches are closing for spring break down in Florida now?
Are they really?
They're not
They
allowing,
don't
yeah.
allow spring breakers.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not allowing spring breakers
So the
on the
college kids
beach.
are gonna go
Yeah,
on
so
the
I'm
beach
thinking
now.
maybe the college
imagine
kids are
that.
going to jump on the
No,
cruises
I wouldn't want to be
now.
on that
Yikes.
boat.
No.
Yeah, huh?
No.
It's like going on a Disney cruise with all the little kids running around all over. Ah!
I was told that by a cruise person because I was expressing interest in a Disney cruise one time, and they said, "Yeah, for your first time on a cruise, it would have been." And they said, "Too many kids on the Disney cruise line.
Yeah.
Pick a more adult oriented."
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
Ship. You'll have a better time than all the screaming kids.
But I heard that the Disney cruise is
Things may have
better
changed.
and more affordable than going to Disney World. Now I think
Could
the
be.
Disney World ticket is like
it's well over $100, yeah.
$150 per person. So you might as well go on the cruise.
Yeah.
At that point.
Still got the same characters on
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, that'll wrap it up for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. It's always appreciated. Monica Zuluaga and Lauren Malloy from the Northern Island, thanks for coming in your
Thank
first
you for
time
having us.
here on
Having
the
us.
Coffee and Program.
Yeah.
Feel free to come back any Friday.
We look forward to it.
All right, Richard Lane, thanks for being here as well.
Always a pleasure.
All right, and Melissa Murray, thanks for coming on in.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
And we thank Dave Richards for being here earlier as well. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the Do You Remember crew coming up after the 9 o'clock news here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.